Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of a comparison slash review on a couple of welding helmets. I will say this is not a paid review. I was given one of the helmets for free, and I did buy the other one. But me getting it for free will not affect the review rating, so don't worry about that. So let's go. And if you're wondering, we're starting off in the house because it's cleaner and it's easier to talk about the helmets than it is outside. And I will have links in the description to Amazon to where you can buy the helmets from if you would like to purchase one. Okay, so here are the two helmets we're going to be talking about today. The one on the left is a Hobart. I bought it a while ago when I got my first welder, so we'll get to that in a minute. And this one I was given for free by my uncle. So shout out Uncle Sean for giving me this helmet. I really appreciate it. This thing's awesome. So anyway, this one I've had for a while, and it also came with a manual. And this one I just took out of the box, and it came with the instruction manual and an extra lens included. This one also came with that. It's just not here right now. So anyway, now let's go over to the computer and we'll talk about a few specs and some things these helmets can both do, and why one of them is better than the other. Alrighty guys, so first thing I want to talk about is the Hobart welding helmet. And I want to go over some pros and cons of it. So here we go. Now, both of these helmets are auto darkening, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So anyway, some pros of the Hobart is it's decently affordable, coming in at $250, which is a pretty good price for a welding helmet considering it's auto darkening, and it has all these features that are pros that I'm going to list right now. So the first feature is that it has a shade range, so you can change the lightness or darkness of the shade you're looking through while you're welding. This is basically to improve just like you seeing your own work while you're welding. It's pretty handy to have. You can also change the sensitivity of the lens, which basically means how often it turns on and off based on the lighting that it has access to. And you can also change the delay of it. So let's say you're done welding and you want it to go off like that really fast, it can do that, or you can turn it all the way up and it will stay on for a little bit. And you can also change both of these have this, you can change it into weld mode or grind mode. And the last kind of, and another pro is that the welding helmet is very comfortable in the way that the headgear is made. It just fits your head very, very nicely, and it's comfortable. It doesn't pull any hair out when you do it. And you can also adjust the side so that when you want to go nod and it comes down pretty nicely and doesn't just flop all over the place. Pretty simple. So yeah. Now, one of the cons actually is the viewing window size, which comes in at 3.94 by 2.36 inches, which actually is pretty decent, but compared to the other one, we'll get into in a minute. Alrighty, so now we're going to be talking about the Celstrom WHP 4000 welding helmet. And again, we're going to go over some pros and cons, and I will leave a link in the description to where you can buy either one of these helmets if you would like. So first, let's go on to the pros. This helmet is very nice. So the first pro, I guess, is compared to the Hobart, this one actually has a nicer display and controls where you change, like I mentioned, the Hobart, the shade, the weld grind mode, the delay, and sensitivity. And another pro about the Celstrom is that it actually has memory settings. So if you have different people welding, you can each have your own setting, and then you just press the button, and there you go, you can weld. So that's actually very handy. I like that feature. And compared to the Hobart, I really like the screen display versus the dials. I like it a lot. Just a lot easier to use, in my opinion. Another pro is going to be the viewing window size, which is really what you want to look for when you're buying a welding helmet. So this one, the Celstrom WHP 4000, comes in at 3.94 by 2.38 inches, which is very large compared to the Hobart. I'll put a picture up on the screen of just a little side-by-side view of the welding lenses. You can look at it, and you can, and the Celestron is obviously bigger. Another pro is so like the Hobart, you can also change the headgear. It feels pretty good. The Celestron, the headgear feels okay. The Hobart headgear feels a little better. So if you want to, let's say, be more comfortable, you might want to pick up the Hobart instead of the Celestron. But honestly, I've used the Celestron for like 10 minutes, and it's really good. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Another thing is the Celestron comes with an extra lens, very nice to have as well. And you can also, like the Hobart, you can change the easiness of when you nod down, the helmet comes down, or yeah. So now let's go into the cons. So the only, I wouldn't say it's that much of a con really, is going to be the price. So as I mentioned, the Hobart is $250, and the Celestron WHP 4000 is coming in at $360 on Amazon. So that's not really a con, but for $110, I probably would buy the Celestron over the Hobart because of things like the viewing window, the screen display, which is much nicer in my opinion than the dials, and just the overall fit and finish of the helmet is a little better than the Hobart. And both helmets do come with an instruction manual, so you can look in there about how to set it up and use it. They're both really straightforward to do, which is nice. Okay, guys, so now that we've talked about some of the pros and cons of each helmet, I think let's go outside and do some welding with them. So I'll set the phone in one of the helmets, and you can kind of look through it to see the welding process. I'm not sure how good it's going to turn out on camera, but I will let you know personally which helmet I think is a little better. And I've cleaned the Hobart, so it's pretty well like new. So this is going to be a fair comparison because one of them's not going to be dirtier than the other one. So, and just in case you guys wanted another look, here is the Celestron WHP 4000, and here is the controls. So here you go. You can do the memory over here, and then you have your delay, sensitivity, focus. Delay, sensitivity, shade, and weld grind mode on the screen. So once you press this, you gotta press it twice for it to work, but then it'll just change the settings in the screen, which is very handy to have. And once again, here's the Hobart. This one is pretty simple to change the batteries. All you do is pull this and this comes out. But anyway, here is the controls. So at the top there, you have your shade, sensitivity, and delay, and then this little switch is the weld grind mode, and there's a little light down there that comes on when the grind mode is selected. So the little light down there comes on when the grind mode is selected, like this, little red light, and you can see the shade goes to light too. All right, now on to the fun part. Let's go do some welding in the garage. Okay guys, so you guys are currently looking through the Celestron, and I'm wearing the Hobart. I'll put the settings up on screen right now as to what the helmet is set at. And by the way, I'm not a professional welder. This is just flux core on some scrap metal. And be safe, wear your gloves and your safety glasses under your helmet for added protection. So, let's go. Okay, so just got finished welding with the Hobart helmet on. It's pretty good actually. The viewing window isn't a bad size. Could be a little bigger. This headgear, this is so comfortable, like it feels good on your head. And you go like this, it feels good. So now, I really like this thing. Anyway, let's go weld with the Celestron, and you guys can look through the Hobart this time. Okay, now you guys are looking through the Hobart, and I'm wearing the Celestron WHP 4000. So now I'm gonna put the settings up that's on the Celestron that I'm wearing right now. And I guess I'll put the Hobart settings up too, because why not? So again, be safe, wear your safety glasses and gloves, and let's weld. Okay, so just got finished welding with the Celstrom WHP 4000. Very good helmet, and you can definitely tell the difference in the bigger viewing window, as you can see there. Hi. Very nice helmet. The bigger window helps a lot when you're working. Anyway, another thing, again, the headgear on this one, yeah, it just takes some getting used to, but it feels good. And you can also, like I mentioned earlier, it's pretty good when you want to just nod this way and have it come down. Works good. And I do like the, again, I'm going to mention it, I like the screen a lot because it makes it easier to change out the settings. So, there we go. Weld test is done. Alright guys, so all in all, both of these are very good helmets. I would recommend either of them to you if you're just starting out or you want to get into a little bit of welding. Both very good. If I did have to pick one over the other, I'd probably pick the Celstrom just because it's only 160 bucks more. 110 bucks more, sorry. And it's just so much better with that window. It's crazy. Like if you try one, like I'm not saying that Hobart has a small viewing window at all, but if you try one with a bigger window like the Celstrom, you're just not going to go back to the Hobart. It's really good. So I would pick that one. I mean, the Hobart, it's a great helmet as well, but anyway, that's my opinion. So they're both really good helmets, but I think I'd pick the Celstrom. So if you guys like this kind of video, product reviews and such, welding, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome weekend.